What's up and welcome to episode 43 of How Not to Summon a Podcast. As always, I'm Shinny Senpai, and this week I'm joined by the man who would definitely die first in this game, Jim.
100%.
And that guy who would love to make an Akase and Yuno sandwich, Grayson.
What's up, Scooby Gang?
And this week we are doing episode 7 to 12 of The Future Diary. We open with episode 7. It picks up where we left off. For those that remember, we got Risuke coming into the picture. The little bratty kid ended by saying, he was looking at the picture of Yuno and he was going, this is going to be a bitch. It opens with him in the toilet and he's talking about, well, he's talking to his puppets about strategy. He's strategizing how he's going to kill Yuki and Yuno. But the kid's in love with Yuno.
That's
which is
he's
fucking weird as well.
He's like
yeah,
5.
No, he goes on about it
Yeah.
a lot. How he's like, I love you. That's why I'm going to kill you.
Yeah,
it's
it's
because
a
they're
little
like,
weird.
Yuno is exactly this kid is Yuno. He's
Yeah.
just not developed yet. That's basically what he.
It's weird.
It is weird.
Yeah, it is.
We find out that his diary is
A colouring book?
It's called a hypervision diary. He only gets 3 entries a day in it. It's a picture from the morning, the middle of the day, and the night. This diary's fucking useless, right?
Useless.
Yeah, it is.
And he's talking, well, he says at the start of the episode that he wants to avenge his parents. And as we know, his parents were members of that cult that got massacred by... It's not Yuno's fault.
It's their own fault.
They
They joined a
s-
fucking cult.
Well, for one thing, they start killing each other
Yeah,
to
this is
start
true.
with.
Wasn't
like-
that an act?
That guy got an axe in the fucking head at the start.
Wasn't that an act?
I know they talk about some of them were playing dead, weren't they?
Yeah.
But I'm sure some of them died, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Some of those definitely died.
Sacrifices have to be made.
Some of you may die.
But it's a risk I'm willing to take. So he quickly shuts down the whole avenged parents thing, and he's like, huh, joke, I just want to win the game. So this kid's fucking sadistic to
Can you
start
imagine?
with.
I mean, you've seen the world, right? God
He's-
is probably a 4-year-old.
You could be right, to be honest with you. It's got a wicked sense of humor. This kid
offense,
could be
America.
God. This kid could be God, for Christ's sake. He's got a wicked sense of humor.
Yeah.
We get the moment where Risuke has decided he's going to make dinner for everybody. The kid's poisoned the food.
If I was at this point, I'd be like, hold on a
Is
second.
this where she went, the weight of these tomatoes
Yes!
are
this is
heavier
it.
than I remember?
Yes, Yuno's rolling the tomato around on her fork and is like, these seem heavier than when I washed them a minute ago.
Why are you washing them?
You wash
You
your
wash your
tomatoes.
veg.
That's not veg.
Oh, poor Tash.
You need to wash them, man.
No, Tash is definitely not going. These are heavier than the last
It's
time.
vintage gorgonzola.
In this context, is an evil cheese.
Yuno talks to Risuke about the food and everything. And she stops Yuki from eating it because clearly in the kid's face, he's like, yes, eat it. Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
He's literally sitting there at the table with, like, the squinty eye thing. Where he's like, oh, go on, do it.
I'm
Do
not
it.
evil. Eat the food. I'm not evil. Eat
I
the food.
made this specially for you.
Eat the food. Eat it.
Do it.
Do it.
His poison attempt fails, so the kid decides he's going to run Yuno a bath, pours tons of salt into it. Now, does that make a difference?
Yes.
So a
Where do you get the
salty,
salt?
salty bath water
It's more conductive.
would be more conductive, right? So he pours a salty bath.
That's a...
Okay. Do you reckon that's the first time she's been covered in a salty bath, or?
Yes.
He's very sure of this.
Yes.
I'm
Going out on a limb, are we?
yeah.
And his idea is when Yuno gets in the bath, he's going to join her. But instead of getting in it, he's going to throw in... What did he throw in?
Some cables.
Is it a radio? Oh, no, he's just
It's got
2
the cables.
That's it. Yes.
He
We
has
do see
two
his, we
rubber
do see
gloves
his
on.
winky, by the way.
Yeah,
as well.
I know.
It's winky.
We see like a smiley face with like a big nose on it.
Literally is.
Yeah. So that was like, why?
I'm glad he said why. Saw that and was like,
Why are we putting this into this? Why
Mike,
did
Mike's a while. Mike, Wazowski's head got shrunk. Just legs. It's like little tiny head, giant legs.
If I was
my
you now, I'd be
God.
like, what's the rubber gloves for? By the way, that he's got.
Do you know what you're not doing? You're not getting in the bath and turning your back to him.
No.
That's what you're not doing.
This wall's very interesting.
Or, hello, can I join you? Yes, I'm not going to look at
Yeah,
you.
look
Don't
at
look
the
at
tile
me.
work on this. Look at the
No,
tile work.
you can't join me. I've known you for less than a day.
Plus, I know you're trying to poison those tomatoes. Don't get in the bath with me.
And I'm completely psycho and literally won't trust anybody at all. But
Yeah.
I'll trust you to get in the bath with me.
Weird. Yuki sees on his diary that Yuno gets electrocuted. He doesn't see a dead end for Yuno. He doesn't see that she dies. She gets electrocuted and passes out, doesn't she?
Technologically advanced Tokyo puts out the power with a hairdryer that he turns to turbo.
Yes. Basically, he shorts out the electricity of the house so the cables don't zap.
My
Yuno.
house would be getting shorted daily if it was down to a hairdryer.
I've told you, please shave down there.
So we find out that obviously Risuke is this kind of killer. That the ball has dropped for fucking Yuki and Yuno.
No, it
Finally,
hasn't. He's 5.
The bu- nice.
We all saw that has definitely not happened.
Teed it up.
As
Yes.
well, did we not find it weird that he slammed open the door and was like, you know, and he's like,
He runs off. Yeah,
I'd be like, hold on, bitch. No.
drowned
you know- yeah. Dealt with. No, in fact, get out of the bath, chuck him in. He's still got the cables.
but the electricity's out.
Oh, yeah, good point. I'll hold him there. you go replace the fuses.
Why did they let him get away? Does he just run off? Supposedly.
Yeah.
Because the next bit is that they go looking for his diary. So they're not even trying to kill him. They're just like, let's just find his diary and that we'll kill him.
Well,
that
she
way.
wants to kill him.
That is essentially killing him anyway.
They're
You
one
kill-
and the same, right?
Yeah.
They are one and the same. So what's the, but Yuki doesn't want to kill a kid. He doesn't
I
want to
guess
kill
he doesn't
anybody
wanna see it.
apparently.
I find the diaries really weird when they're like that. Because we've seen the scroll one
Yes.
get pierced by a dart and
Yes.
that broke it completely.
This is a kid's drawing. How many
pinprick
times
hole.
does a kid draw a bit too hard and rip a page? Mm-hmm. This kid's destroying that page straight away and dying.
I just thought more of I don't like that photo. I'm
Rips
ripping
it out.
Yeah. No.
This kid. Jim did
Is this
the
kid Stewie Griffin?
Yeah, he is, isn't he?
mother.
Mumsy.
Yuki. You know.
You know what you're doing.
You know.
So you know she wants to just kill this kid.
Yes, do it then.
And she ends up going at him with a hammer and trying to chase him around the house with this hammer.
We all knew something
The
was going to
mum
happen.
walks out the doorway and you know just clocks her over the head with a hammer accidentally. I mean, it is accident. You fucking see that, weren't the kid, right?
Yeah.
Before you brought that hammer down.
What,
Also,
the fact that
how
it's 5
high?
foot tall?
Yes.
How high are you throwing up your arm to slow it down
Yeah.
on like a 2-foot kid?
You got to get maximum swing.
Who thought the mum was dead?
Yeah.
I thought she killed the mum
I
at this
thought
point,
she
right?
was done.
Look, mum's okay. They don't take her to the hospital or anything. They bandage up her head and then just leave her on the floor.
Yeah.
That's fireworks. No avoiding that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Halloween. We should have done.
It is
spooky episode.
Halloween.
Oh,
yeah. We should have done a spooky episode.
It's fucking scary.
At this point, Yuki has a change of heart about killing the kid. After Yuno's whacked his mum over the head, he's like, let's kill the kid. But we'll do it the right way. We'll destroy his diary. So he kind of changes his tune, but that was his plan in the first place anyway, so he's not changing
Well, if they
his
destroy
tune.
the diary, there's no evidence, right? 'Cause
Yeah,
it's the
that's
diary.
true.
They just kind of pop out
Yeah,
of
I
existence.
suppose you're not hiding a body or anything, are
Yeah.
you? Or making it...
Hold
yeah.
on. If you kill the person, does the diary disappear?
I assume,
No, but the diary can't be transferred.
I
they
assume
told
the
that
diary
later.
just
Well, then just kill the kid and then find the diary later, stab the diary, and it will just turn into a
the
whirlpool.
corpse will swirl out of
Well, it'll just swirl out of existence. Job
No, I
done.
think it's a one or the other. You either kill the person. Everybody we've seen die who's a diary user has died because their diary's been
Yeah.
taken
Not
out.
because
right?
they've
Not
just
them.
been stabbed straight
Ah,
up.
no, tell a lie. Dog guy. Later on in this,
Oh, yeah, that's true.
his diary doesn't get destroyed.
That's such a weird character. Like, he has talking dogs. I don't have microphones on him.
It's my girlfriend.
Your girlfriend is a talking dog?
No.
That's
It's
Brian.
the character.
The next bit is
That's
when
2 mentions of Family Guy.
the next bit is when Yuno does that chi focus zoning out shit on the table
Uh-huh.
when she sits cross-legged and is like, "I'm going to enter my mind space."
Twilight Zone.
The Twilight Zone.
I love the fact that he's worried and is like, "Oh my god, what's happened to you?" I'd be more like, "She's dead. I'm free."
She's dead, Jim.
It's worse than that.
Leave it now. So she manages in her mind zone
In her
to
mind's eye?
work out in her mind's eye to work out that the kid must have
over.
mailed the diary to himself while he was at the supermarket so that it would stay safe for the day.
Yep.
She runs because the package is about to be delivered. She runs and is like, "Yuki, that's his diary. Take it off of him." Yuki grabs the postman's like, "What happened to the postman at this point?" You'd be like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Somebody's run up to the door, the kid slammed the door, and then you've just heard boom on the other side of the door.
You heard, like,
and somebody collapsing. And
I'd be like-
there would be seepage. There would be seepage under
Gas
that
coming
door.
out from the door. I'd be like, "Not my responsibility."
Yep.
That's a postman. normally.
That's above my pay grade.
Not even going to bother calling the police.
Deliver mail, not bad news.
So the
Sometimes we're both.
so the package was rigged by
With
Risuke
nerve gas.
with nerve gas. The kid got hold of nerve
That
gas.
little package fills a house. I just want to point that out. That's a tiny little package.
We have
filling the
already had. We've now had 2 episodes. Akira, where one little tear gas fills an entire city.
Yes.
They don't understand the concept of volume.
Does the kid not walk around and set more off?
You don't see it.
You don't
Are
see
you
him
sure?
go
He
around.
turns the taps on.
He fucking pulls a fucking gas mask out of his asshole.
Yep.
That comes out of nowhere.
Yep.
Yeah,
All of a sudden, he's wearing a gas mask.
I want to know how the kid.
I don't know
How
how.
did a 5-year-old get a
Yeah,
I don't know how nerve gas works, right? But if you literally suck in a bunch, right? Like that is that killing you nearly straight away?
You're done.
Yeah. There ain't a magic needle that's going to bring you back to life, is there?
No.
No.
We certainly can't Google it to find out.
So the kid.
You don't want that on your search.
So the kid they run into the toilet and shut themselves in the toilet, Yuno and Yuki, to hide from the nerve gas, which would come out of the
Bathroom
door
upstairs
anyway.
is where you want to be.
This
You want to turn
bathroom
the
is
shower on as hot as possible.
Apparently, this bathroom's airtight.
Apparently so.
One thing I'm also really confused by: she sees him pull out the diary from that same package. Yeah.
Yes, because he ripped it the right way.
Yeah.
So it didn't trigger.
Well, then run up to the kid and sock him one and take the
Yeah,
diary.
just kill the kid.
Right there, you've just
Go
dealt
and
with
smack his gas.
You ever
mask
chased
off.
a 5-year-old? That came out wrong. I have 2 of them.
Like a child snatcher over here from Chitty Chitty
it.
Bang
Yeah, I
Bang.
was just thinking of that. Come on, my pretties, I've got chocolate for you.
Oh, we don't like chocolate around here. They're not fast. They're not fast.
No,
The child? You're catching
5,
him.
You're catching him in 2 seconds.
And I'm ripping his mask off.
I chase my kid.
I'll just take the
every day.
book and just be like, no,
No.
it's my book. No nerve gas.
Here's an idea.
tear through the
Here's an
middle.
idea.
Yeah.
Run past him and open the front door.
Yeah,
that's
open
a
the
good point.
windows. That'd work.
Well, they do. She smashes the window open later on, but we'll...
Imagine the postman. Door slams. Hear somebody go boom on the floor. Hits. You hear, oh no, my boy.
Smash.
Smash. Running. Door opens up again. Loads of gas comes out.
Tap water running in the bathroom.
you're just sitting in the post van like, okay.
No, he wouldn't have even made it back to the end of the garden by that point, would he?
Are you having a look as the postman? I'd be curious. I'd be like, what the fuck is going on in there?
See, that's dangerous. You open up that
Letterbox.
the letterbox, face full of nerve gas. It's a dangerous job, postman.
looking through the post box.
I love the fact
That's not what they're for.
He's like the postman does a Yuno and looks at good night, sweetie. See you in your dreams.
What happened in there?
My eyes.
No,
My fucking eyes. I did.
your dad's safe. He's a postman.
My dad's a hero. Just his wife and child went home again.
He left that dangerous hospital.
Got a government job. Nothing bad happens for the governor.
He's part of parcel force now.
Well, he ain't getting nowhere near your fucking front door then, is he?
That's true.
Attempted delivery.
It would have
I'm
turned up
putting
late.
attempted.
Your next door neighbour would have had it.
They would have opened it and got fucking nerve gassed.
You should see it next door. Somebody's slamming on the floor.
Postman's been arrested for killing someone with nerve gas.
The nerve gas killer.
Watching the ring footage on TikTok.
Okay, so the kid decides to create a game while this nerve gas is around. He basically says to Yuno, if you can find me and catch me, I'll give you the antidote. But you got to catch me before the gas kills you.
Door opens outwards. Slam that door open really quickly because he's right there.
Well, he actually helps Miss Armino. So the mother,
Yeah, he puts
he
her
pulls
outside.
her outside and he's like, I'm not a monster.
That kid is not bullying a fucking grown
When
woman.
did he have
literally-
time?
I don't know. He literally turns around and he's like, I'm not a monster. I wouldn't hurt her. She's done nothing wrong.
I'm beginning to think the
The
postman's
kid's
in on it.
so in a sense, the kid's only in it for the game, right?
Yeah.
He wants to win the game, so he's only taking out the players. But actually, he knew that the mother was a nice person. And he didn't want to hurt her. Is he nice?
No.
No.
Question mark? No.
I mean,
No.
are any of them nice?
No.
Well,
Not really.
Yuki tries to be.
That
But,
doesn't last
no,
very
he's
long.
just the whingy bitch, isn't he?
Yep.
Again.
He's the Kakaguri.
So
this.
so Yuno goes looking for Risuke.
She can hold her
Risuke.
breath for a very long time.
Look,
by
this
the way.
That's the type
kid
of woman you
fucking,
want.
this kid Home Alone's the shit out of the house, doesn't he? He puts like thumbtacks down in one room and like he Home Alone.
Home Alone's this bitch. I was thinking that.
He Home Alone.
I was waiting for paint cans to drop from the doors.
Well, he does something with the stairs.
Yeah.
But we'll come to that. He goes outside while she's looking for him. He just walks outside.
I'd hear the door open and close.
He's loving it. Because he goes outside, he's like skipping. He's like, "This is fun." And then that's when he mentions like he loves Yuno, and he's like, weird.
Weird.
Eventually, Yuno locates him at the top of the stairs. She's climbing the stairs slowly because the gas is obviously getting to her at this point. The kid floods the stairs with water and does what he wanted to do to her in the bath, electrocute her. Eyebrow raise from Jim there.
The banister's right there, right?
Yeah. Jump over it.
Yeah.
Or I'm just making a sprint for it.
Or you do like everybody used to when they were a kid. Do like that Spider-Man thing where you jump on the sides. Remember how nobody else?
The Mario wall jump? What
Yeah,
are you
like the
talking
Mario
about?
wall jump thing where it's like
Jim, you can't
hey,
even jump right now. What are you talking about, Mario wall jump?
He means the Ninja Warrior fucking
Yeah,
spread
the
eagle
spider-
wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking spider climb.
You guys didn't do that when
I'd
you
love
were
to
younger?
see him do that on the
Oh,
fucking
no.
stairs.
I did that before.
Especially at the minute.
No, it's not happening. I can't even raise my leg to get up a stair yet.
Limp Bizkit over it.
Getting down with a sickness.
That's
So,
it's Cradle of Filth, isn't it?
Yeah. I've just realised that I don't know any Limp Bizkit songs.
Keep rolling.
Oh, okay, yeah, I do know that one. I play that on Beat Saber.
So Yuno gets electrocuted on the stairs. This is when Yuki rushes out of the bathroom and he saves her with his like last breath, doesn't he? What's he do? He darts Risuke? I'm sure the darts come into play.
Yeah,
I
it
can't
hits
quite
him in
recall,
the
but I'm
shoulder
sure
again.
He
Like,
darts him, doesn't he? Yeah.
This man's
I
rolling.
missed the darts.
He's rolling natural 20s on all of his throws.
This is the worst player of all time in D&D. So I won't solve this problem normally. Is there anything around me I can throw at the darts? All you got is darts.
Well, it's not as bad as you and the fucking stepsister gets stuck under a fountain pen.
Yeah.
So we're talking far-fetched, Grayson.
That's because they're not really stuck. They just want banging.
Nice. That's getting cut.
So Yuno gets a second wind because she's seen how brave Yuki is. She sprints up the stairs and just stabs the kid
As she should have
with a
30
kitchen
minutes
knife.
ago.
In the chest, mad.
Yeah.
With that carving knife.
Before he dies, Risuke turns to her and is like, you do realise that right at the very end of this, if you keep going the way you're going, it's going to be a one-on-one between you and Yuki. and you
Yeah.
never eventually you're gonna have to make a decision.
Yeah,
He says what is obvious,
This
but
is the
it's
thing,
the first one to fucking say it.
The-
The kid.
Or she
The
could just go, nah, I don't wanna play
detective
anymore."
later on is playing to save his son, right? Like his son's
Later
gonna,
on,
he
yeah.
says his son's going to die and he's going to bring him back.
Yeah.
That's all these two have got to do.
Yeah, bring all the players back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One person just needs to win with the understanding that they're going to bring the rest back.
Well,
Problem
you're
solved.
God essentially, so
Yeah,
you
problem solved.
can mold the world to whatever you feel like. As Yuno collapses next to Yuki, Minane shows up, picks up the antidote that's laying on the floor. She actually turns around to Yuki while he's in a state of unconsciousness and says, "I would kill Yuno sooner rather than later."
Before she kills you.
Before she kills you, she pulls them out of the house, saves their lives, and that's how the episode ends.
I don't understand that bit.
Minane isn't
She also says
actually
don't
evil.
trust.
It's really weird.
She also says don't trust the people that are in the game. Like, people are not what they seem.
Yeah,
Does that need saying?
Well, no, not really.
No.
You're not trusting anyone who's playing the game.
No, you're not.
Apart from, I guess, you know who's standing beside you, because she really hasn't given you reason not to.
We've already said that you would use Yuno as a meat shield, so that's
yeah,
fine.
you would.
I play Call of Duty with you guys. I don't trust you. You're on my fucking team.
When it becomes obvious that she is actually genuinely in love with you and is doing everything for you, you're
Are
like,
we saying
okay.
love and not
Yes,
fucking obsessed?
I think it's love that's turned into obsession.
Yeah, I think so as
But
well.
I think
Infatuation
the
that's
I think
turned
the
into
intention
obsession.
behind it is still pure. It's
Purely
just,
mental.
well, yes, but Yuki's being won over slowly but surely. He's buying into
Being
this.
won over?
He's buying into this crazy. If you match the intensity, you're both on the same level.
Matching the intensity.
Great. You just created Joker and Harley Quinn.
I have not dug a
Yeah.
30-foot hole in my back garden.
Look, we'll
What
go
was I
in.
doing?
We'll go into.
And also, like, smashed through the back wall of your own house?
We'll go into this. We'll go into first episode 8. Episode 8 opens with giving us a bit of information about the game. They tell us that there's 8 players left in the game. Doesn't seem like any of the other players are killing each other.
Doesn't seem like any players are killing each other.
Well, no, it's just sort of centralizing around Yuki.
Yeah.
The only ones we've seen die are the ones that have been involved in trying to take out Yuki. That's it.
There are more players trying to keep him alive than kill him at this moment, right?
But shouldn't there be more conflict between every player? Like, it seems like one by one they just turn up and take out
Well, we only-
Yuki, or try to.
We only see conflicts between other players in the context of Yuki.
Yes.
No way.
Yes.
That's it.
But
That's the
he
only
seems to
time.
be involved
But that's
some
what-
way.
Like, we see
There's
4 and 10.
people trying to fucking keep him alive until the detective changes later, but
Well, there's at the minute there's Kurisu, Minane. We don't know what her game plan is, and so there's 3 other people trying to keep him alive.
well, there's so much to call it a fucking alliance.
But maybe early on it's a good idea to form an alliance in this game,
No.
potentially.
'Cause
But
somebody's
you're always
gonna-
going to be looking over your shoulder.
Yeah.
Yep. You can't work with someone because eventually that person has to kill you.
You're better off doing what Yuno does, not in the sense of like going full for Yuki, but I mean playing the game in a sense of just I will just be vicious.
Or just yeet yourself off to somewhere else.
Well, just disappear, let them all kill themselves.
It does seem like they're all centralized.
Turn
in
up at
Tokyo.
the end and just kill that last person and be like, done.
It's a godly move.
Or just never show up. Ever again.
Although,
Yeah, but
would
we
their
know what
diary
happens
tell you
if
where
the
they are?
game doesn't come to a close because the world starts to. Yeah, don't worry, you will find out in later episodes. So we also see one of the players in the game turn around to Deus and ask if he can transfer diary ownership,
No.
and that's all we find out. Deus is like, this sounds like an interesting proposition, and then that's all we see. We then see that it's been 2 weeks since the kid was killed. The truth, Kurisu managed to get all of the sort of truth covered up, and it was all sort of glossed over, and Yuki and Yuno are off the hook. The mum was under the understanding that Yuno accidentally hit her because there was an intruder in the house.
Technically not a lie.
Technically not a lie. And as they're walking to school, Yuno and Yuki spot across the road Akase. It's the first time we see Akase.
Like, it's the one from blooming Death Note.
Like Yaga. Oh,
It is,
L.
L.
It's L, yeah. So
He
Akase...
literally looks exactly like
does.
L, by the way.
And he's standing at the bus stop just staring at them. I think it's Yuki's the only one who clocks him.
I mean, he disappears out of fucking nowhere.
They're finally going back to school, so it's all been...
It's a new school.
It's a new school, yeah.
Yes, yeah, they've been transferred to this new school because the other one's
Holy.
blown to shit.
It's a religious school now.
Wow. It's a Catholic joke.
But it checks out.
There's
And-
a lot of people that got blown in.
Mostly priests.
Ah, that's a Sheeny joke.
I went to a Catholic primary school.
Uh-huh.
The
My brain worked with too many jokes to get any one of them out.
Oh, what's your face just go?
I've got nothing.
My ADHD brain just went bang, 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 bang. Here's a joke, here's a joke, here's a joke.
So Yuki's excited at this prospect of going to a new school because obviously a bit of normality in his life, I guess. Walks in, his old classmates in there, Kozuka. The guy, if you remember, that stitched him up in the last school and was the one that gave him over to Minane.
I would punch this guy in the face.
You would?
I would, after he decides to speak up in class and try and tell everyone that Yuki was the cause of the explosions in the old school and he got everyone killed.
This is like a microcosm of new world, new me. New school, new me. Hey, it's that fucking guy that did that. Bollocks.
It's a bit like Silent Voice, if we remember
Yeah.
rightly. When the
Yeah, a
bully
little
goes to the new school and the classmate stitches him up.
Yeah.
It's a bit like that, but with a bit more different energy, I suppose, because he blew up classmates.
I mean, that guy really deserved it in the other one, to be honest.
And we also get an introduction to Hinata, who is the darker-skinned character, and Mao, the stereotypical character Mao is.
Yeah.
You see her in every anime, this one.
Is that the pink-haired one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is this a nice girl?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hinata's like the sporty, darker-skinned character, and Mao is the other stereotypical, like,
I've got pink hair.
polite
I'm
character.
different.
Yeah.
Saint.
There's a lot of pink-haired girls in animes which you really need to watch out for. What I'm saying,
Is that the female version of blonde?
it is, I think. Like, pink hair? Don't trust.
Hinata tries to stand up for Yuki at this point, but he trips over, pulls her pants down.
Anyone ever done this?
Oh, whoops! Oh no!
Oh, back in my youth.
I seem to have fallen.
Who has incredibly loose trousers on at school?
Yeah.
To the yeah.
Those teachers.
Your priest.
Oh no! Don't pants me.
Is this why you've got father issues?
When that was a fad in school, nobody would do it because they knew you wanted them to.
You might want to explain what pantsed is, by the way. But
That's American thing.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
being pantsed. It's the
Didn't
opposite of being wedged.
They go
called
down
it-
instead
we
of up.
called it kegged.
We call it keg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pantsed is American.
Yeah,
kegged
keg.
is what we used to kegged.
Get your kegs out.
Yeah.
Your kegs are your underwear.
You keg
Big kegs.
people.
Yeah. It's British Genius School. It was all the teachers doing it to the
Confusion.
kids.
The confusion on Jim's face.
We used to have heads down, thumbs up in our class. His was just head down, pants down.
Head down, thumbs up the bum.
What went on at Park when I left? What did you do to my school?
Student correction. Student correction.
Whatever happened during my time there was preceded by what had happened before I got there.
It cuts from that to tell us that there's a serial killer again on the loose.
Again.
Yes, because we've already had the
Yeah,
other
we've
one.
already had the
There's
other one.
another serial killer on the loose, and this person has been attacking random people, and they think this person's some sort of monster because these people are being like ripped apart as if they were attacked by a werewolf. So the little gang that's formed in school now, that also includes Kozuka, by the way. For some reason he's been invited into the group,
It's a
even
little
though he
weird.
just fucked Yuki over in the classroom.
It's a little weird.
Like, why has he been invited into the group?
Because plot.
Yeah, all right.
There's
So
no other reason, really, is there?
They needed a fourth person.
Yuki,
The party needs a
Kozuka,
fourth.
yeah,
Yeah.
Hinata, Kozuka, Mao, and Yuki, they all decide that it's a good idea to go and see the murder scene in the park.
Who the hell, when you're in the Future Diary fight game, where you're going to die.
Go see potential Jack
Yeah,
the Ripper's
go
scenes.
see- yeah.
Well, Yuki's
Oh my god, can you
Yu-
imagine if Jack the Ripper was a diary user?
Maybe he was.
Dear diary, collected a womb today.
Maybe he was.
I never got caught.
Yuki's only on board.
He
though, 'cause
ascended.
Jack the Ripper is God. It's explaining a lot right now.
Yeah.
Yuki's only on board because he wants friends. It's that simple. They're like, let's go and do this, and Yuki's like, I'll follow, I'll tag along because these people are being nice to me, and they're not, So
Just quickly going back to Jack the Ripper. Their future diaries would be a town crier.
Yeah.
Hear ye. You will stabbeth someone
The Stabbath.
on the Sabbath, really. It's just a town crier walking around with him.
Just his bell out.
what follows is what I didn't expect. Some slice of life stuff happens
It's a little, yeah.
when they're all out and about. They're all like
Just having a laugh in the
having-
park and stuff.
Yeah, they're all just having fun, and we see
A
Yuno.
psychopath in the background.
Yuno is there. She got invited along.
Homer Simpson in the hedges. So
She's a little loner.
Something makes Homer sad.
Well, she's standing there and she's writing "die" in the sand with her foot over and over and over again. Just how do they not see that? By the way,
Right?
she's standing off to the side writing "die" in the sand.
Fucking emo as shit.
Also, Yuki is definitely crushing on Hinata
Yep.
as well.
Yeah.
Pretty.
Yeah.
He is pretty.
I mean, the best mate knows, is it?
I
what,
think
the pink-haired one?
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
she'll be friends with you, but she won't ever be anything more. She knows this.
Yeah. Well, that's because she knows what's going to happen. But
Yeah, there is that part.
he's
She can see the future, strangely
Stabby
enough.
rip, stab, stab.
I mean, the choice is Yuno or Hinata.
I can see the ending.
Neither. A left hand.
Still has a potential to fuck me at one point.
When they get to the murder scene area, Hinata wanders off on her own.
It's a little weird.
Yeah, she just decides she's going to go off ahead.
We all know D&D. Don't split the party.
We all know Scooby Doo.
Why
split the
Why don't
party.
we split up?
Yeah, but they don't split up as singles.
Hey, Scooby Gang.
I mean, technically, that means she's Shaggy because she has a lot of Scooby-Doos.
So she goes off on her own. She steps into a forested area, and then all these glowing eyes appear.
It is a D&D game right now, isn't it?
Yeah. So the group, I think it's Yuki. He gets a message, doesn't he, about what's about to happen or what has
Her
happened.
arm's been
Oh,
ripped
yeah.
off.
Yeah, so they run to go and find her, and what they find is an arm on the floor, and then a little bit further from that is her body laying there.
I have a bit of a slight problem with this, right? His diary is supposed to observe what he sees. Yeah?
Yes.
Would he have seen that?
Yeah, if we'd have walked
No,
that
because
way.
eventually they would have gone looking for her.
Yeah, they
So
would have walked
yes.
that way anyway because they were all going in the same direction.
She just ran ahead.
I thought she ran elsewhere. I thought...
No, she
No,
ran
she
ahead.
Ran ahead.
Okay, no, fair enough.
She
because
knew
I
that they were going to come looking for her. Is essentially what it is. So she knew his diary was always going to show that he found her body.
Because his
Yep.
diary does start getting a bit convoluted.
That's only because people are tricking his
Fucking with
diary.
it, yeah.
They're making him see something so that it comes up in his diary, so he believes it's real. That's the point
Okay,
of this.
fair enough. No, I was just thinking
Because
like,
people start using their diaries in clever ways like that late, as we continue
Yeah.
through. So out of the trees come the dogs with the metal jaw contraption attached to their face. So they've been mechanized. And they've got like metal teeth, haven't they?
mechanized dogs.
Yes.
Interesting.
It's
No
a bit-
laser beams.
This gets a bit convoluted, this
Yeah,
bit,
it
doesn't
does.
it?
I really don't like this bit. The dogs are unnecessary. A dog, sure.
There's
like
loads.
Just a big, well-trained dog.
Just three.
Just
Yeah,
three, yeah.
even
A
three,
normal
yeah.
amount of pet dogs being trained to be fucking killers.
This is a humongous pack.
This is fucking, yeah, it's a bit much.
He has that humongous pack, but then he also has his dogs at home. that he...
Why are the dogs eating meat?
Oh,
And
we'll
the
get
dinners?
we'll get to that. We'll get to
Fuck
that.
me.
But so Akase turns up at this point, calm as you like, and he's like turns to Yuki and he's like, "Hey, hot stuff."
I'm liking this guy's energy.
So yeah, Akase clearly.
I like this guy.
Akase clearly fancies Yuki. He's like flirting with him. He's really calm in the situation as well, and he's just literally just like, "I suggest we all run to that observation deck place over there because otherwise we're fucked. And they're all like, yeah, okay. So they all run off to the observation center. This is when we see what we're led to believe is the diary user of the dogs. He's got the screen in front of him. Well, firstly, he's cooking up some steak.
Ugh.
And he puts the steak in front of his other dogs.
Why does he cook it evilly?
What?
May as well be.
Wait, what do you want, Gordon
Then
Ramsay?
he runs off and goes, I'll enjoy a pot noodle.
Please enjoy your fucking steak. Fucking Ramsay with the dogs. He cooks up the steak, puts it in front of his
And a stew.
and a stew in front of his dogs, and he sits down to his nice cup of noodles.
Yeah.
And he's got his monitor in front of him, which is tracking all of his dogs, and all the blips are heading towards this one point, the observation center.
Yes.
Hats
And
off.
then it pans down to a family photo, and it's clearly Hinata in the family photo.
Yeah, I saw
It's
it. I was like,
fucking
why,
clearly
why,
her in the photo.
Why break the
illusion that early
the
on.
illusion that on? Like, really, it should be
Put it in the
right there.
background.
Yeah.
Sure.
The minute you see her in the photo, you're like, oh, so,
Fuck.
so
So it's her.
Hinata's fine.
Yeah. Don't have that at all. Just be like, I've got somebody working with me and that on the ground. And then you'd have been like, oh, okay, so it's one of them. Which one is it?
Well, no, because I suppose if you're paying attention, you'll recognise that the outline shadow figure right at the start of the episode that asks about the transferring a diary ownership
guy.
is clearly him. Then you find out that's his daughter, and you're like, you put two and two together. You're like, he's transferred ownership to his daughter. That's what you think.
Yeah, I get that, but I mean, like, really, you'd have had him just turn around and been like, oh, there's my operative on the ground is working for me and going to be able to help. And that would have...
Clearly his daughter, though, isn't it?
Well, no, and then take out the photo. That's
Oh,
what I mean. Just to
right,
fix that, just be like, okay, so it's one of them, but which one is it?
Mm.
And then you could have had that turn. Because there's also the part where, in a minute, when they get in the observation place, and you have the pink-haired one turn.
Yes.
So, I mean, you could have had, like, a
Well, that's
whole
a friend
thing.
protecting a friend. That's what that is. To an extreme, but it is. So we get a bit of information about Akase while they're inside the observation place. They talk about him being a wannabe detective. He fancies himself as a bit of Sherlock.
He's a Batman. He says that I want to be the world's greatest detective.
Yes. And he also mentions that he's been following Yuki's actions for a while now from a distance.
So, does that technically mean when they were on their fun day out, you had, in the background looking at him, and then behind that they had him in the background further?
Captain Meta.
By the way,
I've been observing you observing them.
Yeah.
by the way, as they're running to the observation center, I forgot to mention, runs over to Yuki as they're running and goes, "This is the perfect time to use everyone as a decoy. They let them get eaten and we'll run off."
Yep.
I
You
still find
son of
that
a
weird.
bitch, I'm in.
Right?
No,
No, I'm in.
I'm not that evil.
I'm in.
Why?
It's not evil.
He's fucking running with his gorgonzola in
You're
hand.
literally just going everyone for themselves except me and this bitch that clearly wants to fuck me.
No.
Become one.
Become what? Shakespeare's mythical beast with two backs.
Okay.
When
Yeah,
they
I'm
get in,
educated.
does anyone get the next bit when they're in the observation center and Yuki's like, "I'm going to use my diary to help us," and he starts like coordinating people to run to certain windows to block the windows so the dogs. So all these windows are openable.
I guess
I think
so.
that's like a observation place where they actually can do that. I've seen.
Right.
Well,
sort of
surely they'd
places
open
like that.
outwards.
But
And
they
up.
open both
Not
ways. So
inwards.
no, I think they turn to the sides. So it's like
Right. They should have shown that.
I just like you
Just
see
one of them
just-
opening a window.
Yeah, something like that. So they just systematically start running around blocking the window.
how are they going to show them opening a window?
The door locked.
Just hold on, let me just have a look outside and see if there's any. Yeah, there's some dogs out there.
Have the doors locked and go in through a window.
Yeah, that
I mean,
could
didn't
have
they
been-
lock the
Problem
doors?
solved.
Why is this observation center open anyway?
a
This
good
time
question.
of night.
Why is there an observation centre in a park? Who's using it? Jimmy Savile?
It's looking at the stars.
He is a star.
Sorry, Gary Glitter.
Was a star.
And you can be in his gang.
That's getting cut. And that's getting.
This is when Mao kidnaps. Is it Yuki she grabs
Moana?
hold of?
No, I thought Chairman Mao was in like
Chairman
China.
Mao. No, Mao kidnapped. Is it Yuki she holds at knife point? It is,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah, and we find out all along that Hinata and Mao end up working together, and Hinata's coordinating the dogs. She takes Yuki's phone. This is a perfect time to kill him, by the way.
Yeah.
She takes his phone, and it ends with her saying, by the way, I'm not after you, Yuki, anyway. I'm here to take Akase's diary away from him. And that's how it ends.
I found this really weird as well when Mal tries to apprehends him, basically. It's so slow. She walks right up to him, is like smiling, and is like, let me just, I'll take that phone, thank you very much, and I'll get behind you with the knife. I'm like, if somebody come up to me that close, especially a lady, I'd be like, what are you doing?
No. Suspicious behaviour. Lady in my vicinity.
Is that a knife in your pocket?
Oh, you have a knife to my throat. I have a knife elsewhere.
Pocket knife.
Little switchblade.
Fiddling around in my pockets for it.
So we go into episode 9. Episode 9 opens with us skipping back 1 week, and we see that Hinata is standing in front of her father. She confronts him and is like, you're the serial killer, aren't you? You're the one that's been sending the dogs out and massacring people. I want to help you, Dad. And like, yep. And the dad's like, I have a problem. And he opens the window and he pulls the curtains back, and Akase's just standing across the road. He's like, he's been watching me for a while now. He knows what I've been doing. Send the dogs after
Just send
him.
the dogs.
Send the fucking
Release
dogs
the
out.
hounds.
This creepy kid standing under a
It would be
lamppost.
funnier if you then
Fucking
closed...
Exorcist.
It'd be funnier if he then closed the curtain again, open it, he was at the window.
It's that cat.
Yeah.
Ninja cat.
Open the close, just gets a little bit closer and pauses.
It cuts back to the observation place, and Akase, who is calm as fuck, he turns to Hinata and he's like, I tell you what, let's play a game. He's like, and he flips the coin up in the air and he does the whole hand, like, guess which hand the coin's in. He's like, I'll wager my diary for Yuki's life. If you get it wrong, you release Yuki. If you get it right, you can have my diary. She gets it wrong. And she does release Yuki, doesn't she?
Yeah.
After getting it wrong, she's
Yeah.
like, yeah, okay. And then she's like, now I'll do it. And Akase guesses right. He guesses which hand the coin. But the whole point is that she has Yuki's diary and looks
And
at
her
it and
own.
is like, and her own. No, I don't think she's holding on to it. She's just coordinating the dogs at this point.
I mean, at this point as well, if I was Yuki, I would have just been like, cool, toss the coin up in the air, throw that dart at that woman's phone.
Fucking darts come out. The whole point is that because she's got Yuki's diary, she can see where Akase's going to guess, so she knows she can win. But Akase gets it right anyway, and that confuses her.
But it's only as good as Yuki's observation, isn't it?
This is the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's based on what Yuki sees. So then
And thinks he
Akase,
sees as well.
yeah, Akase then flips, takes his turn. He flips a coin. She gets it wrong. This is when Yuno is standing there and she's like, something's not right with Akase. She doesn't care about Hinata or Mao and the fact that they've just held Yuki up. She's more worried about Akase. Runs over, tackles him to the floor, and is about to kill him. Tell me what number you are.
And it's the fact that Yuki's like, what the hell are you doing? And she's like, think 4 steps ahead, my love. I'm like, no, just think about what's
Don't.
going on right
Or
here.
just tell me what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
Well, she asked for
Fucking
his number.
Riddler over here.
Riddle me 3!
Turns out, Akase owns up and turns around and is like, yeah, I'm not a diary user.
I also love how quickly he disarms Yuno.
He just takes her out.
He's just like, I
Flips.
need you just to calm down.
Uno reverse card.
I play the reversal on you.
And he turns around, he's like, yeah, you got me. I'm not a diary user. I just guessed what hand the coin was in. It was just pure luck.
Fair enough. This
But
freaks him out, though, doesn't it?
He then bends over and he starts whispering into Yuno's ear about something. And you're like, what's he saying to her? And you don't find out.
It's free real estate.
Can I tell you about our Lord and Savior? Sir, have you got a minute?
I've been trying to read you about your car's extended warranty.
Have you been injured in an accident?
Yuki decides that this is the right time to turn around to Hinata and Mao and go, no matter what happens here, can we still be friends?
It's a little weird.
It's a big eye roll from all of us, by the way, at this point,
It's a
because
little weird.
Yuki's a twat.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, murder friends.
And once again, Akase manages to guess which hand the coin is in again.
But when he guesses right, he tells. I don't understand this bit because he tells
No,
Yuki, "Sorry, Yuki, I've got it wrong."
Yeah, they cover Yuki's ears. Yuno covers Yuki's ears and eyes. The coin's flipped. Akase gets it right, and then he turns to Yuki and is like, "I got it wrong, Yuki," because what he's done is he's preempted the future so that he would get the coin toss right. Very convoluted.
I enjoyed this though.
It's very clever.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but it's a bit too late in this kind of
Yeah.
series to try and then throw some fucking convoluted plot at you.
Is it too late though?
Yes, it is.
I mean, having someone defeat his
You're
diary
nine episodes in, and now you've decided let's throw a real.
If you had that earlier, though, it
Brain
makes his
shaker.
entire diary useless.
Yeah.
This is
I
showing.
wanna- I wanna
This is
see
showing
his
the
diary
fragility of it,
work.
though, isn't it?
Yeah, I want to see his diary work, and then I want to see someone break it. 3 episodes from the end of the first season is about the right time.
Do you think? Well, it's not the
Yeah.
end of the first season because the whole thing is just one season, but
Yeah, still 24.
Nope.
it's 25 episodes.
No.
It's good.
It's a no from me.
Yuno attacks, stabs Mao because she jumps in the way of Hinata, and then everyone leaves.
Yeah, I was like,
Well, peace out.
Guess
and
we're
then
done
she
here.
calls the dogs though.
Yes.
So when they're right
As
there,
they're about to leave, Hinata then calls the dogs back to attack again. No, they leave, and then she calls the dogs to attack. 'Cause,
Yeah.
she's worried about Mao. She runs over and is like, Mao, oh my god. And, and Mao's bleeding out on the floor.
Is this when Snowball turns up?
Snowball?
No, it's...
Morty's talking dog.
The next bit is a flashback, and we find out that when Tenth, or Hinata's father, asked about transferring the diary, Deus turned around and actually refused. Told him he wasn't allowed to transfer it because it would make the game too convoluted.
And chaos as
Yes.
well. I mean, imagine if somebody had Yuki's diary from Yuno.
yeah.
Yuno's
But you wouldn't kill
diary for
people.
Yuki.
You would have people who aren't playing the game force you to give.
Oh, no, you can
their
steal a
diary.
phone and use it.
Yeah.
That's fine.
but
and
you don't
as long
take
as that
ownership.
person's still alive.
And the phone is still intact.
So I suppose if you kidnapped another diary user and held them hostage and then used their phone.
But that doesn't get you to God. You're making the person kidnapped win.
No, well, no.
If you're not
'cause
part of the game,
It's helping you. Oh, no, if you're not part of the game, yeah, then
that's
that
what the
doesn't help.
transfer does. You could force someone to transfer it to you. It means you've got fucking
Yeah.
7 billion players on the planet.
Yeah. So instead, it looks like Hinata's just helping her father out by.
Being a prick.
Well, she's like the front man and doing all the killing, and he's just sitting at home.
It's Alfred.
It is.
Batman, go break some skulls.
No, that's like Batman sending Alfred out to break the skull
It is kind of, isn't it?
You mean like a Robin?
Yes, Master Bruce.
right away.
Oh, right away, Master Bruce. Kiss him on the forehead. Good lad. Thanks, Master Bruce.
5 minutes later. What? Alfred's dead?
How did this happen? No.
Batman doesn't go no like that. Nope, nope, nope.
Oh, yeah.
No.
When they're running away from the dogs, Yuki comes up with another great idea. He stops running. And he's like... and
Fantastic idea, lads. Hear me out. Stop.
in fairness, he's like, look, we can't outrun the dogs.
Why don't we just die?
So,
That's what it sounds like at the moment.
Akase turns around and says, why don't we all split up so that the dogs run away and Yuki can run back to Hinata and try and talk her out of it? Because she trusts... Well, she's got some sort of weird trust thing going on with Yuki, apparently.
Apparently.
Even though your best friend's just been stabbed by Yuno.
Yes.
I find this very convoluted.
As they split up, Yuno, instead of running in a separate direction, goes with Yuki. And she's like, it's a great idea if we used them as decoys. So she got what she wanted in the end, by the way.
It's a great idea.
Yeah, it's a great idea. She got what she wanted because all the dogs run after Akase. Is it a bit weird when they turn up, by the way, and Hinata's on the steps, right? And Yuno just, like, sprints at her and grabs her. It's stupid.
Well, she turns into the Terminator for a start.
She
to
does
get
that all the
there.
time.
Well, she takes out a dog because it leaps
Yeah.
and tries to attack Yuki, and she stabs it and kills it.
Bit stabby rib, stab.
Yeah, she just gets to Hinata, holds a knife to her throat, and is like, out of character, this bit, because what we've seen of Yuno, surely she'd just kill him
Yeah.
straight away.
Yeah,
She'd just
she
be
doesn't
like,
question stuff like that.
No,
Unless it's for a purpose.
but
Her
is this
eyes are
purpose?
glazed over. She's in blooming Terminator
Yeah,
mode.
but in that mode, she still does whatever it is to survive, not to kill people.
Yeah, but
It's not about the killing.
When-
She switches off from it being a bad act.
Yeah,
So she can use a person
she becomes a bodyguard for
very
you.
much and will do anything.
Take my breath away.
She's carrying him down the
Top
steps.
Gun.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
It's the "and I will always love you."
Sorry. And
There we go.
Cut that last
As
bit.
she's carrying Yuki down the steps of the observation deck. He caresses her face.
See, now I'm just thinking of Con Air. I'm sorry, darling.
I've saved you, my love.
Those are three very different actors you just listed out. It's the same movie. What's that? Kevin
Costner?
Costner,
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage.
I mean,
and Tom
Nicolas
Cruise.
Cage would be good in this.
What?
What, and he's
Nicolas
white-
Cage.
is- is
No,
he
it's
white
the guy
dog?
that's like in charge of the dogs.
Oh, right. So, look, Yuno turns around and she says that she's scared that if Yuki becomes friends with Hinata, that he's going to fall in love with her. It's clear that he probably would, to be honest. We've seen already that he's got some sort of attraction to her. Then Yuki comes up with a great idea.
He takes one for the team.
He takes one for the team and he's like, I'm not your friend. And then he introduces her to the rest of the group who have just turned up as his girlfriend. This catches her off guard and she lets Hinata go.
Well, actually, I think it's quite interesting as well and quite well played because he goes, well, haven't you realised your phone says that we're supposed to have a happy end on this day?
Yeah.
And I was like,
And he's like, if you've
he's
got to
getting
accept
handcuffed, is
if you
that
want to if you want to be with me, you have to accept my friends. So you have to leave Hinata
What?
and Mao
Just
and
turn
all
into
that
the
alone
fucking
and
Spice Girls.
and apologise for stabbing Mao.
say you're sorry.
Yes, I can see Baby Spice saying that.
Yuno's super
sporty.
happy, and Yuki turns around internally and is like, "I'm fucked."
Yeah, he is.
Heavy breathing.
And Hinata's father comes over the comm system on the dog's collar. Up. Hi,
Yeah.
I'm Doug.
Where are my balls, Morty?
He comes at, he's really negative over the communications. He's like, I knew you couldn't do this, Hinata. I knew you weren't strong enough. And this, that, and the other. And then the episode ends with Kurisu popping up behind him while he's sitting in his sofa and shooting him in the back of the head. Episode 10 opens with Yuno digging a ginormous hole in her back garden.
When did she start digging that?
I don't know.
Probably the same time the plot did.
We're digging for a plot. We can find it in here somewhere.
And then she stops and is like, oh, what am I doing again?
Diggy diggy hole.
Why? What's this? It must be like a 30-foot wide hole.
It's-
like
She's been digging
square.
that for a week.
It's massive, this hole. We don't know when she started it, but
And where did they get the big old
as a
bash
neighbour,
open in the side?
wouldn't you look out your window and go, fuck they doing over there?
Could you imagine? Could you imagine that being done in England? You get literally the nosy neighbour just leaning over the fence,
My
cup of
name
tea,
is Michael Caine.
and I am a nosy neighbour.
The police have turned up. Excuse me, we've had some complaints that you're digging to China.
What the hell's this hole for? Renovations.
Renovation.
Definitely not bodies, officer.
It's a big pool.
It's my hot tub.
Then we cut to Minane. She's still in that cabin that... So she starts using the cabin that vigilante guy, I can't remember his name, that he took her to. That is the same cabin, correct?
I was a little
Looks
bit...
like it.
So they cut to her in this cabin twice, right? First time they cut to it, they say near a mountain. Yeah?
Right.
Near a mountain, on the outskirts of, right?
Right.
Second time, and I have a problem with this. Second time, it says unknown location. I was like,
There's a glitch in the Matrix.
Shit, we told them too much.
GPS offline.
We told them too much.
Do a U-turn. Do a U-turn.
I literally saw
Turned
it.
into me wife.
I saw it, and it was like near Sakusumi
City.
City, under a mountain, and I was like, okay, And then the next time it goes, unknown location.
She's picked it up and moved it.
It's Howl's Moving Castle.
We've gone full circle again. So she's having a flashback in the cabin about the time that she actually tried to kill and take on the serial killer guy when the game first started, and she lost big time to him. Her diary is probably one of the shittest, isn't it? It's the escape diary. It only helps her escape situations, doesn't help her kill people. She nearly gets killed by him. She ends up bumping into Masami. So Masami is Kurisu's understudy.
Yeah, the detective's second in command,
Yeah.
basically. Something I really find funny about this when she's like, damn, explosives don't work on this guy. I was like, I'm pretty sure explosives work
Explosives
on
work on everyone.
buddy.
Yeah, they're kind of universal.
He died by a dart.
Yeah, I know.
But the
Explo-
bulletproof jacket.
But an explosive-proof jacket. The guy's fucking hurt lockering around the place. Masami handcuffs himself to Minami and is like, you're not going anywhere. And she's like, well, there's a serial killer trying to kill me, so I guess we're going together. They escape. They try and escape together. We're getting a voiceover by Murmur.
When I watched this, I thought the audio was broken.
Yeah,
Oh my
I
fuck!
watched this.
I literally went, that can't be right. So I switched to a different source to watch it, and it was the same thing. I was like, the fuck am
Is
I
going
listening
on. Yeah,
to?
what's going on? It's
a
being
romance.
voiced over by Murmur as
Yeah.
some sort of romance story.
There's a romance manga going on here.
As they're hiding out, we get the moment where Miname's like, I need the toilet. She's sitting outside the toilet and he's there and she's like, pervert.
Hurry up and take a piss. Don't mind the camera.
You know those memes of it coming under the door? The flash still on. He's doing a fucking
Jim's drilling a hole
King's
in the
game.
next one.
Yeah.
doing a King's game. The hand
King's
comes
game.
over the toilet and steals her phone off of her.
What are you doing in there?
Jim's looking under the cubicle. Nice feet.
You got any lunch?
That's a
So
big bag.
Minane is
That's a mighty big dress there.
she's soaked.
So is Jim at the side of his feet.
So Masami gives her a dress that he finds. It's the dress that she was wearing when she attacks the school. This is where she got the dress from.
That dress has been through a lot, by the way,
It has been through a lot.
including several explosions.
There's a lot of
And the entirety of Kill Bill.
there's a lot of flirting
Oh, yeah.
going on between the two of them. So there's clearly an attraction between the two of them. Then she pulls out a sonic grenade and uses it to escape because the serial killer's caught up to him at this point. They escape again, and just when you think they've got away, I never understand this bit. Just as they're about to get away, she shoots Masami, and looks like she kills him.
She's not a good guy. She's not a good person at all.
I don't know because that's not addressed again. It's really weird.
You've seen my face. I have to kill you.
Yeah, but then later on when he's alive, we don't
Maybe.
know how or why.
Anyone else get a kind of a Cowboy Bebop vibe from this guy?
Yeah,
kinda liked
and
him.
her
It's the
really.
hair.
Yeah, it's kind of like the
The
hair
hair, yeah.
and the way that he just casually, nonchalant did stuff.
Yeah, the face
Kind of
as
cool.
well.
Yeah.
Just chill about it.
He's a proper detective.
Yeah, it's very Cowboy Bebop.
Then we cut to Yuki waiting at a bus stop, train station, and he's waiting apparently for Akase, who doesn't show up because Yuno shows up instead. And she talks about going to some sort of wedding convention.
You fucked me, I could say. You fucked me.
Yeah, so Akase told Yuno about the wedding convention and convinced her to go with Yuki.
Oh, I bet he really had to try hard to convince that to happen. Where did he think he was going with Akase? We're going to a wedding convention together.
I don't know.
Do I get lunch?
I mean, I would go. If
Buy,
I
buy
got
me
that.
lunch.
Buy me lunch.
Buy me lunch.
So he mentions while they're on the train as well, this is him starting to be won over a little bit. He turns around and he's like, she's crazy, but she's very, very attractive. That's what he says.
That's what we all say, and then we learn.
And and they end up going to...
Tell me I'm wrong.
It's a bridal fair. That's what it is. They go to a bridal fair.
Yeah.
And they meet a lady who, weirdly enough, has the same last name. Kurisu.
Yeah. It is weird, isn't it?
It helps. It's a plot device for
It
later
is,
on.
isn't it?
That's all it is. And the two of them decide that they start trying on wedding clothes.
So the two of them start trying on wedding dresses.
The wedding clothes, and they have photo shoots of them in their wedding gear. And Yuki starts getting into it a little bit, and he's like, "Yeah, this is actually quite fun," and she's quite cute, and
Yeah, you still don't put your dick
and then
in crazy.
and then he recalls that every time he starts thinking that, he recalls the fact that he saw what he thought were bodies
A
in a
30-foot
room.
hole in the back.
No, he doesn't know about the hole. He saw
Well-
a cage and bodies.
He'll sit
Everyone knows about the hole.
like their next
whole
door
thing.
neighbour.
The fucking,
Where's the mud?
it's on the news. There's a helicopter taking fucking videos of it.
Neighborhood Watch has literally been on that for the last week. You've all seen like the TikTok.
Fucking
Of,
next door kid's gone missing. He's fell in the hole.
please tell me you've seen the TikTok of the hole.
No.
Where you didn't call the police? Yeah, I did. Where are they? In the hole.
It's the hole in the kitchen.
Yeah, that's the one. What's that? Whole person.
Hole. What's it for? Show you.
They end up at the bridal fair getting asked if they want to do a practice mock ceremony and get married. as
No,
a- as
no,
a joke.
no.
And in fairness, is like, is like. Does turn around and say, "I'm not fussed about doing this." In fairness to her, she might be crazy, but she does turn around and go, "We've done enough, Yuki. You don't have to do this." And Yuki is like, "No,
But I'm
no,
shooting for anal.
Let's- Fuck it, I'm in now.
In for a penny, in for a pound.
Oh, she's in for a pound. I'm done.
As they're doing the ceremony, Yuki internally starts hating the fact that he looked behind the door. He's like, "I wish I'd never looked, because I'd be so happy right now if I'd never looked."
Yeah, he would. But then also, some
And then
things would not have happened in the way that they
He's
did.
like, "Is it okay for me to just forget it?
No.
Forget what I saw?
Don't forget what's in the hole.
Forget that I don't forget the whole."
Forget the room full of ex-boyfriends.
Yeah.
And the cage.
Okay.
We also get a small bomb drop that the lady turns around and goes, "My husband's a detective." It's like, yeah, we know. We saw Kurisu.
We know.
We know.
Really, at this point, they should have gone, "Is you this one?"
Yuki ends up carrying Yuno home from the bridal fair because she's very tired. She's had a long day.
Oh,
Any of us doing this?
no.
Jim with a straight no.
No.
Hell.
They get to the
In my
house.
current situation, am I fucking carrying anything?
You can barely carry your own weight.
I can't.
They get to the
That's
That's what the
house.
crutches are here for.
They get to the house, and Akase is at the house. So the whole trip was a ploy so that he could wander around and have a look around Yuno's house.
I really wish they'd been like, "How did you get in here?" And then it just pans out to the massive hole in the
Yeah, it
house.
does. It does. He's like, "Yuki, have you seen behind this door?" And Yuki's like, "Yes, I know what's behind that door." And he's like, "I bet you don't." And he opens the door, and instead of a cage and bodies, there's a hole, and the whole side of the house is missing.
I mean, she could have used the door.
Yuno wakes up, and she's really confused. She doesn't know. She's like, "What? Who are you?" To Akase, do I know you? And then she's like, "This is the first time you've ever been to my house, Yuki." This is supposed to set us off as questioning what the fuck is going on with Yuno. You find out later on why all of a sudden, for some reason, her memory's gone a little bit haywire.
Because she wants to forget.
No,
Well, yeah, I
But
know.
she's a
I
psychopath.
yeah.
no, you have to remember in the opening episode that part right at the beginning
Where she
where
dies.
she's sitting there and an axe comes down on her.
Oh, so she didn't die. She got brain injury.
No, but I'm not going to spoil it because
Yeah.
it does.
We've
get
still got
explained.
two more episodes of this to do.
Do we?
Akase turns around to
Not before
Yuki.
Space Dandy, big boy.
Akase tries to make an excuse for her and is like, it seems like her mind has rewritten itself because she's that batshit that she's just forgetting all the bad. And he says to Yuki, he's like, "You need to stay with her because you're the only thing keeping her stable. Without you, who knows what the fuck she'd do."
Murder.
The episode ends with us cutting to Kurisu, who's sitting in front of a team of police officers, and he's got pictures of Yuki and Yuno up. These two are the perps that we're looking for the killing of a dog handler.
No, they say that's the guy that was the murderer, and then they killed him. They shot him.
Yeah,
Like, these are the
but then
perps
they
that
say
killed that
these
guy.
two
yeah.
14-year-olds
And now we
are
need them. We need them for
potentially
questioning.
perps.
If I was any of the officers in that room, I'd be like, "Excuse me, sir.
Are they the two that you've been hanging around?
Yeah, are those the two that you've been hanging around with
Yes, the
constantly?"
grown-ass detective are hanging around with 14-year-old children. No one's questioning that.
It's Japan. It's fine.
What?
It's Japan.
And we go into episode 11.
What?
They have blooming pop star
K-pop.
K-pop,
Oh, not K-pop,
idols
it's J-pop,
and
innit?
stuff like that.
K-pop.
We all saw blooming James May go in Japan and go to those K-pop idol things. What? We did.
Idols is a thing in Japan.
Yeah.
know
Like
what they
grown men are supporters of young women performing.
Yeah.
Let's put it like that. So, anyway, episode
Plenty
11.
to answer for.
Episode 11 opens with Minane and Kurisu, and Kurisu has gone to her to broker a deal with her. And he says that he will protect her if she goes along with this deal. And he says, I need your help. We cut to Yuki. He's walking through the street. He's thinking about Yuno and where he's going to go forward with that. He's thinking back to what Akase said about him being like the calming influence in her life. Masumi turns up with the rest of the police force, with about 10 police officers to arrest this kid, by the way. They surround him and they're like, you're under arrest, Yuki.
I mean, this is Japan. He might have telekinetic powers. He can have
I
anything.
expected Brazzers to come up in the corner.
We also see that Yuno has been arrested as well. And she, as they're sitting in the police station, she clearly has already clocked on that something's not right.
Well, yes.
What, was it the fisheye lens that gave it away?
Well, you fucking know anyway. You're like, why is Kurisu bringing us into the police station like we're fugitives?
Like, we didn't just murder a bunch
when
of
he
people.
could just call me on the phone like he normally does.
And, like, you've got 5 officers, like, hanging around us.
Well, she gets that glaze in her eyes and she goes to go schizo again. And Yuki's like, no, calm down. It's Kurisu. He wouldn't do anything to hurt us. He walks into the interrogation room.
He's got a gun in there.
He's a dismantled gun that he's cleaning.
I would still be like, no.
turn back around.
Straight back
Homer-
Good evening.
The Homer meme when he goes into the thing and hangs his coat up and turns to Grandpa.
That's the one.
Simpson.
Why not? You're only there for questioning. You're not there as a
Well,
blooming
no,
suspect.
Kurisu's
yet.
like, oh, by the way, I had to bring you in because of the crime of the dog handler being killed. He's like, I know you
That's
didn't
the
do it,
worst
so don't.
Sherlock Holmes book I've ever heard.
Don't. The death of the dog handler guy.
it was the butler
The
that
crime
did
of the
it.
dog handler. It was Scooby all along.
And then, as Yuki thinks everything's okay, he puts the gun together, sticks one bullet in it, and is like, ever played Russian roulette?
No, and I don't intend to right now.
I would have been like, you're not
You
going...
won't play Russian roulette.
I would have just sat there and gone, you're not going to shoot me in
Good-
cold blood.
Good day to you, sir. I am leaving.
You won't play Russian roulette.
Hold on. This is an interrogation room,
Yes,
right?
Yes.
there's cameras.
And also,
And two-way glass.
there's the two-way glass.
Yes,
like,
yeah.
there would be at least 2 people behind that two-way glass.
Yeah, you just look and go, what's Kurisu doing?
Yeah, but one of them's Jake Parola.
I want it that way. Fucking Backstreet Boys again.
We've come full circle.
When he's about to start off the game of Russian roulette, Yuno gets the text on her phone, doesn't she, to say basically something's not right in the interrogation room. She follows one of the other police officers.
With a fire extinguisher.
She walks past Masumi with a fire extinguisher in her arms
Yeah.
and follows that guy into the toilet.
What are you doing?
And Masumi's like, hey, come back.
What are you doing with that fire extinguisher? Literally.
He has as much force as fucking Jack and Rose.
He rolled a natural 1.
When
I would also say, like, it's like the Hitman game where you, like, follow somebody into a room.
and they come out disguised as them.
And then,
Her in this really baggy suit.
I was thinking about Rose floating on the door in Titanic. Come back. Come back. That's Masumi.
speak normal.
Yeah, just shout.
What are you doing with that fire extinguisher? Would be the question.
Put that down.
Don't go into the toilet. She's going to hit you over the head with a fire extinguisher. Why are you going into the toilet with that girl?
You're not.
No, he goes in first and she follows
That's what I
behind.
mean.
Wouldn't you look over your shoulder and be like, what are you doing?
No, it's the other way around.
No, he goes in first.
Yeah.
And she follows
And it's like,
behind with the fire extinguisher exactly behind him.
surely the guy would
No, it's the other way
literally be like,
No. Swear.
No,
No.
it is.
100% is.
No,
No.
she follows him in. Swear
she
down.
follows him in. Wouldn't you? If
And
you were
Masami
him?
is like, "What are you doing?" And she walks in, and then you hear, that's it.
It's
And then she-
literally the postman again. That's not my job. Oh wait, it is my job. He realizes like 2 minutes later.
and then she's got the guy's gun. But we cut to the room
Two
again.
guns.
2 guns?
She has 2 guns.
2 guns.
She empties one, then pulls the other one out of the side of the
No, she picks it up off the floor. That's the one that they were using for Russian roulette.
That was empty.
No, he's got a bullet in it, hasn't he? Oh, no,
One
she does
bullet.
pick one up off the floor. She's got 1 gun, and then she picks up maybe another
thought
gun
she had
that
2 guns.
Kurisu had. I don't know. The guns are confusing.
There's a lot of guns.
She
We
walks
cut to
into
the-
male
in-
toilets as well. I just want to point that out.
Yes, she
Yeah,
does.
and that's why I'm like, Matsumi is right there.
Yeah, I know. He doesn't do anything about
Excuse me, why are you going into the male toilets?
it.
with a
Well, he's
fire
about to say
extinguisher?
that, and then all you hear is "buh," and it's like too late. You should have stopped her as she walked past you with the fire.
I mean, she's
extinguisher.
supposed to be sitting down.
Yeah,
Don't let her
waiting for interrogation, and you've let her stand up, pick up the fire extinguisher, and walk off.
There was a lot of people around her as well, by the way. Like, somebody should have at least said something.
But you ain't handcuffing her, are you?
No.
This is the type of guy.
I ain't
when you put-
handcuffing myself to her.
No,
No,
when you put handcuffs on her and put her to the bench,
No.
she goes, "Yes, daddy." That's that type of girl.
true.
Or cuts your hand off.
Yeah, and it's one or the other. Yeah, definitely one or the other. She goes full saw, full sexy. There's no in betweens.
It cuts back to the interrogation room, and Kurisu is pulling the trigger at him and Yuki, one after the other. And he turns around to Yuki and he's like, "My situation's changed, kid. I have to win this game now." And he gets down to the last bullet, and he's about to pull the trigger, and Yuno bursts into the room. She fires, hits Kurisu in the ear, then shoots him in the stomach, like, picks up a different gun, shoots him in the stomach like 4 times, and Yuki's like, "Calm down, that's enough."
Aim for the head.
That's, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she did initially.
Yeah, and that's what I'm on
is it?
about.
You're
like,
on about when he's actually laying on the floor. Do it right if you
Double
fucking
tap.
do it.
Rule 2, right?
double tap.
Double
right? Like, he even
Don't
turns,
shit with the door closed.
when he wakes up as well, he's like, she aimed for the head first time. I was like, well, she didn't aim for the head the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, or 6th time either. I was like, just aim.
So Kurisu's got a bulletproof vest on. He wanted, his whole plan was he knew that Yuno was going to flip out and do this sort of thing, so he preempted it. So that gives him an excuse to kill Yuki and Yuno.
Yeah, because he says in the interrogation
He says,
room,
I can't be seen killing you by my own hand."
and also his investigation diary only works if he's working on an active case,
Yeah.
and now he has an active case of somebody trying to murder him.
And I don't know where Yuno gets these skills from, by the way, because they run down the corridor. She takes people out left, right, and centre with this gun. She's got impeccable aim.
I think I know why. And you understand why, Sheeny, as
yes, yeah, I do.
well. But we don't really want to
No, you're
really
wrong.
reveal why we think she's got those skills.
And we get the announcement over the announcement system. Kurisu comes on and is like, "There's 2 suspects on the run in the building. Don't let them out. Shoot to kill if you have to. Shoot to kill, please."
I don't like if your lieutenant came over the thing and was like, "Don't let them out of the building. Kill them if you have to." I'd be like,
They're shooting people in the building.
Huh.
In fairness, all he's got to say is they're armed. They've taken down officers already.
"Yeah,
Shoot to kill.
fair enough."
They run to the roof. Why? Why always the roof?
I
Yeah,
said
by the
this
way,
again.
By the way, Yuki does kill, or
He shoots one
he
in
shoots
his
a guy,
stomach.
and then he's
In-
like, "Oh
in the
my god,
stomach,
what
yeah.
have I done?"
And you see his phone change to attempted murder,
Yes,
and he's like, "Oh, well done, kid. You've finally broken that."
"You've done what I needed you to do for them to shoot you now."
Yeah,
By the way, the whole time, Masami, who's with them, who they've taken hostage, is not. He's just trying to talk him down. He's just like,
That's
"Kid,
what we'd be trained to do,
guys,
isn't it?"
just
I mean, they
stop
are
doing this. You don't have to
14-year-old
do Yeah,
kids.
he's like, "What are you doing? You don't have to do this. Stop it."
They know Thelma and Louise to fuck off the building.
Yeah, so they stand on the ledge, they kiss, and they fall off onto the canopy of a military truck that's waiting below.
I thought this was weird. Why is there a military fucking truck in the middle of a city?
because this is the promised Neverland. They fell into that, and now they're going there. We've come full circle.
They woke up from the Matrix.
Yeah.
And then fate may dictate that they hide in some sort of hut by a hospital. There's
And smelled donuts.
and they smell some donuts. Look out
Not
the window,
after-
and it's
Not
Kurisu's
before
wife.
she took a piss, though.
Yeah, she did take. I was going to skirt over that, But yeah, she took a piss.
I
in the
wish they
corner.
would have.
And they look out the window, and it's Kurisu's wife. And they're like, let's follow her and see why she's here.
They brought me food.
Hey, isn't that the woman from that wedding fair that we went to? Let's follow her just in case.
They get to the right floor, don't they, when they're following her, and all of a sudden a bomb goes off. Minane is there, and she takes Yuki hostage. He fiddles with her controls and sets off the bomb behind them and traps them on the floor. And then there's this whole fucking Laurel and Hardy bullshit with the ladder.
Fuck me, it's horrendous.
It's fucking Three Stooges crap, isn't it?
It's horrendous.
I'll go first across the ladder. No, if you go first across the ladder, you'll kick it off the ledge. Well, then I'll go first across the ladder. No, if you go across the ladder, it's fucking shut up.
If I push
hate
you
this
over
bit.
the ledge, then we've dealt with that problem.
It's fucking shit scene, this one. Minane ends up... She does that back and forth on the phone to Kurisu, because Kurisu's like, don't double cross me, and Yuki's like,
Oh my god, yeah.
you're going to double cross me, don't double cross me, you're going to double cross me, and eventually she's like, shut up to Kurisu.
Fuck off.
She looks down at her phone. She sided with Yuki at this point.
Yeah.
And she looks down at her phone. She's got a dead end.
But we saw that coming anyway.
Then she's like, follow me, kids. This is why Kurisu wants to win. And she opens the door to the room. And we see a boy laying in a hospital bed. He's got all the apparatus on. And she's like, this is Kurisu's son. He's got some sort of degenerative disease. He's been told he's got 3 months left to live. And that's why Kurisu has decided that he must win the game.
Ugh.
And the episode ends with Kurisu turning up at the hospital.
I mean, it's actually a good reason
With a
finally
SWAT team.
for them
Yeah,
to want
but
to win the
fuck
game.
me, is it not cliche?
Because we've not had any other reasons for why any of the other people.
Surely
wanna
his
win
kid
it.
was... I guess
Survival.
his kid was sick to start with. Even though, right, well, he doesn't have to win. All he's got to do is turn around to the other players and say, by the way, if I die and you win,
Yeah, save my son.
can you do me a favour and save my family?
Yeah.
Do me that one solid. You know, we'll work together till the end, and then, you know, if it's a one-on-one, then whoever wins is whoever wins. But I'll stay with you till then,
Yeah.
and then we'll both go to one end of the city and we'll run at each other. Fuck it. It's
Jousting!
It's pistols at fucking dawn. Do you know what I mean? Let's just fucking do pistols at dawn.
It's the Matrix, the final one. Where
We're going to the pits.
we go to the fighting arena. Thunderdome.
It's just a 1v1 basketball game. Shirts versus kids. Penalty shootout for the winner. Done.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah. Well,
No.
not for fucking you, it's not.
Rock, paper, no, I'm fucked. If it was penalty shootout, I'm
By
done.
the way, Jim can't take a penalty to save his life.
No.
That's not just because of this.
Oh,
This
can
is
you not hit a
like-
goal?
No, he can't.
No, I can hit a
penalty.
goal. It's just like
What?
A fucking
the one
field
on
goal.
The other side. Of
Fucking field goal.
I've taken 2 penalties in my life. One went over the bar, and the other one
Dribbled over to the goalkeeper.
There you go, mate.
I passed it back to him. Basically,
Did you get a penalty for that leg of yours?
no.
And we finally go into episode 12. Episode 12 opens with the hospital that they're in being surrounded by a SWAT team. The information's come through that there's 2 terrorists inside the building and they're armed with IEDs. Or there's 3 terrorists in the building and they're armed with IEDs.
Yeah, those grenades don't look improvised.
No, they're not. Not at all. Well, maybe Minane's bombs are,
Maybe.
but we've never seen any of her bombs. We don't know what they look like.
Oh yeah, we do. Inside the cabin, she's making loads of them
Oh, yes, you're right. There is. The cabin with
with like
of
alarm
the unknown
clocks on.
location.
Like penguin bombs are in there. It's like
Pumpkin bombs.
cap guns are in there.
And we see in the hospital room that Yuki is torn up about what to do in this situation. He is having some sort of sympathy towards Kurisu's cause as such. Are you being torn up about this now that
No.
you've seen what he's
Am I
kind of
saving a
fighting for?
14-year-old kid or am I saving
All
my
I'd look
own
at-
14-year-old life?
All I'd look at is go, when I
can
win
save that.
the game, I'll sort that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I think. And I'd ring Kurisu up and be like, mate, like, why don't we just stick together till the very end? Like we just said last episode, when we talking about the last episode, we're just saying to him, stick with me. If I win or you win, we'll save your son no matter what.
I mean, that then comes down to trust, and he might just be like, "No way, kid, I don't
But
trust
He
you."
trusted
Yuki's
him
not-
instantly anyway.
I was gonna say,
Before
Yuki's
his
not
son was
exactly
in the hospital, he
untrustworthy.
was fine.
That was such
Shut
hostility.
your little mouth!
Literally, I looked, and you both had this look of disgust at me. I was like, Oh shit!
We're Team Yuki. He might be a miserable little moany bitch, but he's still fucking trustworthy.
Okay,
Yeah.
guys, I'll sit down. Yeah, you're right.
He's also, by the way, falling for Yuno more and more. We can see this.
I hated this.
Anyone like the donut bit?
No.
Mina Nate just takes that kid's donuts and's like, he ain't gonna need them. He's a vegetable.
I don't think those were exact.
Not the exact words, but that's pretty much what she did. Turn around and go, he's not gonna need them.
Always eat your vegetable, kids.
She's like, you need your strength. Eat a donut. You're not yourself if you haven't had a donut.
That sounds like something from my future diary thing.
Yeah.
Mina Nate turns to Yuki and is like, right, we've got to address the situation. Choose a pocket. And Yuki's like, right pocket. And she pulls out and she's like, you get a grenade. And hands him a grenade.
I actually liked that. And you get a grenade, and you get a grenade.
And as he's leaving the room, he turns to Yuno and is like, when we get out of this, let's go on a date. And just forget the game for a little while. Minane, in the meantime, rings up Kurisu and starts trying to make demands. She's like, shit demands, by the way. She's like, I want a helicopter and you to kill yourself.
A car full of gas.
And you kill yourself.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Why do they always ask for a
no.
helicopter? They can't fly.
I want a helicopter, a jet, a SWAT team, and 17 carrot bags.
Who was the famous one that did that?
Tunnels free bags.
That Szechuan sauce. Get me a box.
Get me a Szechuan sauce.
Yeah, Kurisu is just like, no, I'm not going to kill myself. I need to win this game now. And she's like, don't forget, I've got your son and wife hostage. And he's like, if I win the game, they'll not die anyway.
Yeah,
so
I
he's
was
not
about to
really
say
He's
that.
realised
hostage.
what the fucking solution is.
Yeah.
You just said it. If I win the game, I just bring them back to life.
Yeah.
It didn't happen.
Yeah.
What, you've just won. Congratulations. May
And
not
he-
deal
he-
with anybody.
He's basically like, shoot my son. I don't care. I'll just bring him back when I win the game.
I mean,
and he sends in.
kind of true, isn't
Nobody
it?
questions why this homicide detective is
On the phone saying, yeah, shoot my son, that's cool.
not that. He's directing a SWAT operation. He's just a fucking suicide detective. And I think Masami questions him. And is like, boss, why are you so, like, one, why are you so, I know why you're involved, but why are you so involved in this? And how have you got command of the entire SWAT team for some reason?
Why are you so intent on killing them all as well?
Yeah.
Like, that would have been Masame's first question, really, isn't it? These are 14-year-old kids.
Yep.
First of all, we haven't proved that
Let's
they've killed
talk to
these.
them.
Uh,
Can
these-
somebody else talk to them other than you?
Yeah. Like, you literally went in there and then
And
had
now
a
all this
gun.
shit's happened.
And had a gun
Yeah.
when you were in there. Why? Although saying that, he also didn't realise that she had a fire extinguisher and walked into the room and knocked somebody over the head.
He has periodic blindness.
Didn't see the gun in the room. Didn't see the fire extinguisher in her hand.
So when the SWAT team go in, really anticlimactic, by the way.
Massively.
They spot Yuki in the hallway and they just like, there he is, and run over and catch him. I was like, oh, right, okay.
Throw the grenade.
And they're like, this son of a bitch had a grenade.
I found it. I found it.
That's not mine. How did that go?
Yeah. I was just walking around in this hospital.
And then we see
found
like
one.
Kurisu enter the building like Terminator, and he's like going up the stairs like dun, 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 up the stairs, and you're like, oh, he's coming. Sprints down the corridor, open fire, takes out loads of members of the SWAT team before they can react. There's like a mini gunfight between her and Kurisu.
It's like full Rambo here, though. By the way,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
everybody shoots at her, nobody hits.
No.
She shoots at them.
Trained SWAT
hits
team.
everyone.
Miss her.
They're stormtroopers.
Yeah, they are.
Stormtrooper.
Yeah.
Go fuck
Go
yourself.
fuck yourself.
Oh. It's robot chicken. Yuno ends up getting to the grenade. It cuts to Minane. She's setting up bombs around the hospital, ready to escape.
She's a joker. She's gonna walk out of there and just like,
Well, she is dressed as a nurse.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
Pushing the button.
She leaps out of the window. She uses the bed sheets, doesn't she, to create a rope. Climbs down out of the window, lands in front of Masami.
I have a question as well. The woman that's inside the room, right?
Yeah.
Just cut that rope.
Untie it.
Just
Untie
pull one of
that.
them
Yeah.
knots there.
Well,
we,
that's
cut,
one done.
we cut back to the stalemate between Yuki and
Too many
Yuno
sheets.
and Kurisu.
Hero.
Kurisu is like, okay, Yuno, okay. He releases Yuki, and then Yuno goes into that. I quite like the bit where she gets all like sacrificial. I do like that bit where she's like, I knew I was going to have to die eventually, Yuki.
There's no motivation behind this. She's supposed to be motivated to win the game. She like.
Well, she
talks
starts
about how
saying,
she wants
like-
to win.
She's not motivated to win though. She's motivated to make him win.
Yeah, she's her whole game plan is protect him.
Yeah.
Although bowing out this early in the game is not really helping him
No,
when
He's-
you're his only source of survival.
he's got a
really.
lot of people to kill.
Yeah.
She talks about how she fell in love with him ever since the day that he was the only person who sort of. It's all back to when he turned around when they were writing about their futures, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. We see later on why.
So is
though,
that
she
the
fell
future
for him.
diary then? Is that what the show's titled
No,
after?
no.
If it's about these two, is it the diary beforehand, not their phones?
No.
No,
No.
it's nothing to do with that. It's she's got issues,
You clearly.
home life issues,
right.
and Yuki was one of the only ones who was nice to her, and she sort of thought was genuine, and that's why she sort of fell for him.
right.
You do see those issues later on.
You will certainly see those issues come to
So
an end.
she's got Stockholm syndrome.
I mean, he's got Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, yes, he
yeah,
has.
has, yeah.
And she's going to sacrifice herself, and she pulls the pin. There's a explosion of light. We cut to Masami, who is handcuffed to Minane again.
These two.
They
Love
look
the
up.
handcuffs.
Fucking kinky bitch.
They look up, and she's like, and they see the light, and she's like, good. They set off the flashbang. We find out it's not a grenade, it's a flashbang. And then an explosion goes off, and she's like, that's my bomb. And
That's one of mine.
then she's like, fuck, I hope they're not dead.
Here's one I made earlier.
And we cut to Yuki. He's laying in the rubble from where the explosion was. He looks across. Yuno is there. She moves slightly, and he's like, oh, good, she's alive. Kurisu is standing in front of him. Picks him up, kicks the shit out of him, punches
He
him.
falls like a good 10 feet face first onto some
Yeah.
fucking rubble
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
gets
dead.
up.
Yeah.
It's like, walk it off, Marty. It's like, no.
Yeah, dead.
He punches him in the direction of the gun that's laying on the floor. Yuki picks up the gun, but as he turns, Kurisu has grabbed Yuno and has got a scalpel to her throat.
Yep, that's what he's finding in that rubble. Perfectly prepared.
Fuck it.
Scalpel.
Yeah.
Why
Hawkeyes.
not?
Yuki looks at his diary, and just as he's about to take the shot, he looks at his diary and he sees that it says that when he shoots, he kills Yuno. So he doesn't want to shoot. And Kurisu's like, kid, you ain't got it in you. You're
Can
not...
you imagine if he went, no, I won't, and shot to the side? And it just ricocheted and killed her anyway.
I can't do this.
Ping, 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 ping.
Does the fucking point break thing and fires into the air. And the fucking rubble comes loose and fucking
Yeah,
squashes him.
him. Well, that was one of them. Let me deal with the other one.
And Yuno turns to him when he's about to, well, because he can't shoot. She goes, it's okay. Shoot. I don't care if you kill me. It's what I'm here for anyway. I'm here to protect you. And if it means me dying that you kill him, then do it. And as she's doing that, a picture falls out of her pocket. And it's the picture of them at the bridal fair.
That happens to float down perfectly to him. Yes. That one.
And Yuki gets angry at Yuno and he's like, stop telling me to kill you. You should want more for yourself. Can't you see that I've been using you like as a fucking shield up till now? Have some self-respect. Because you're worth it. You're worth it.
L'Oreal. Hiss of the
That's
new
how she
L'Oreal
gets that
advert.
lovely pink hair.
That's
He
the
says-
new L'Oreal
He
advert.
says you're worth more than this. And you should want more for yourself than this. And as he's doing his speech, you hear his phone sort of crackle and it's changing. And he says to Yuno, I choose you. I love you.
I
This is what he
choose
says.
you.
Just throws
You
his balls
know.
at her.
Throws a ball at her. And he fires the gun. And it perfectly hits Kurisu in the stomach.
Does he understand how a meat shield works?
Yeah, he's got his stomach poking out the side.
Ole!
And then he doesn't die. He stands there and he's like, if you think that this is going to stop me, and he's bleeding all over the floor, he's like, then you've got another thing coming. And he goes to attack, but just as he's about to, Masami turns up. And he's like, Kurisu, I know the truth. And he's with Minane. And he's like, I know what's happened. And Kurisu's like, why would you believe this terrorist over me? And Minane's like, he doesn't believe me, but I happen to have recorded our conversation. And she gets out her phone device and is like, I've got the recording of everything you were talking about. Kurisu's like, it's fair game. You've got me.
Fair play.
You've got me. And he pulls his phone out of his pocket and snaps it in half.
I mean,
And he turns to Yuki and he's like, do one thing for me, kid. Win. And he dies.
and
It
save my
spirals
kid.
out into oblivion.
Yeah. So
No, he turns to Minane and says, do me a favour and look after my son. And she's like, I will. And then he turns to Yuki and goes, win. Knowing that for Yuki
those are
to
two
win...
objectives.
Yes, knowing for Yuki to win, he has to kill Minane.
Both can't happen.
Good one, Kurisu.
One or the
Could you
other.
imagine saying that to him as he
just like-
spirals out?
Just creating competition.
Kurisu, you're a fucking idiot.
You
spirals.
now what am I supposed to do?
We cut to perhaps what must be a few days after, and we find out that Yuki and Yuno have been let off. All charges have been dropped against
Yeah.
them.
I mean, the bomb's been going
The
off in a
second
hospital.
set of explosions
whole
these
thing's
guys have
been-
been involved with.
Yeah, the whole thing's been blamed on Kurisu, and they say that they found like old files of Kurisu's, and he was dirty, and like there's just
Was he
evidence.
dirty?
Yeah, there's evidence pointing to him not being legit. No, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
It's
It's
just
just
that
he was using his phone.
his operation wasn't legit at the time, and this, that, and the other. So they put it all on him.
And the bomb's going off.
And we see
Did
that
they-
Yuki didn't kill that cop as well. They make an emphasis on that actually he wasn't a killer. The cop's okay.
Well, that's why it's attempted, isn't it?
Yeah. And they finally are about to go on their date. Yuno takes Yuki's phone just as they're about to go on the date. He walks off. She takes his phone. I can't remember what for. They're playing around and she takes it. She looks at his phone while he's not there. And he's had a text from Akase saying, you need to get away from Yuno now. The police are looking for her and we don't know why. She deletes the message. And as she deletes the message, she's also like, Akase? Should I know who this Akase is?
Yeah.
And that it ends with her and Yuki sitting on the train, and it sort of x-rays into her bag that's on her lap. Because he comments, he says, that's a mighty big bag you've got there.
You brought me lunch.
And we see inside the bag that it's full of drugs and needles and syringes. And that's how it ends. So we're 12 episodes in. How are we feeling about the future diary?
It gets a little bit convoluted in the middle.
Yeah. This is 6 episodes. I was like, I'm excited to watch more. The next 6 episodes, I was like, I'm backing off a bit now.
It's more of the fact that it gets convoluted.
The first 6 are good. The next 6 get a little bit heavy.
Yeah.
Everything. The best bit about this is those sort of final 6, because everything starts to fall in place. You've got to hang on for it though.
Yeah.
That's the
That's
thing.
not the sign of a good show.
I just feel like these are setting the tone.
They might have made maybe a few too many episodes.
I'm feeling that.
Because they did 25 episodes of this, and you probably could have had about
23.
15.
Oh, really? I'd have just maybe cut off 5. You get 20 in this.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe. But 15, 16 would have been okay for me. Especially if they're going to go in the direction of everything centers around Yuki.
I mean,
12
like
on a movie finish.
a movie. We
12
would
at
have
a
had enough.
feature length episode. Then.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, maybe like an hour episode
Yeah.
to finish it
I
off.
thought
or something
actually
like
there
that.
is a feature length. The last one.
No, there's an OVA.
I think it'd make a good movie.
There is an OVA that they created at the end because they never wrapped the story up at the end,
No,
and then
they
they
don't.
decided to create an OVA to sort of bring everything together nicely and sort of wrap it up.
In these 6 episodes, there's one episode that we didn't really need. It could have been
The marriage
latched on.
one, the bridal
yeah,
one.
that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
All
Yeah.
for the sake of a photo, really.
And all for the
Well,
no,
to
meet
all
one
for the sake for the
character.
backyard.
yeah. It's for Akase to then go into her house and have a snoop around, which he could do at any
he
fucking
could
time.
literally just do it.
He could do it at any time. All he's got to do is message Yuki and say, "Yuno with you." Yeah, good.
Yeah.
That's it.
And that's what I mean. Like that could have
And you
been
could
latched
still
on.
keep him as like a twist character then, because he could be a you two together.
Akase is a massive-
you two safe.
He is a massive.
He's a
character.
massive twist.
Yeah, exactly. So you can just play on it early,
Yeah.
not massively, but you like, are you two together? Are you two safe? Where are you?
It's very confusing as well with Yuno's memory loss. You're kind of like, well, what the fuck is going on here?
It begins to explain itself later on,
It
but
does.
it's like it.
There's too many questions
there's
going
too
on
many
at the minute floating
questions.
around, and you're like, I don't.
A lot of plates.
Who is
The
Akase?
balance.
And the way they end the 12th episode as well, you're like, they're going on a date. Why is Yuno's bag full of syringes and
Yeah.
fucking
A good
drugs
time.
and stuff. And a good time.
Not full of lunch. That's all I'm saying. There's no lunch in there for me.
No,
Don't
that's
get
a
me wrong.
rave. That's what that is.
Don't get me wrong though. I still love Yuno's character.
I mean, yeah, probably the only thing keeping me interested
You
right now
don't
is
get
her.
that sort of character in an anime.
No,
That-
I mean you
that
do, but
psycho
they're
bird.
never that complicated. They're always either the
Yeah,
psychopath.
but they're also the bad guy.
'Cause,
Yeah.
we had fucking Psycho Bay in High School of the Dead. We
wanna
had the
see
same
how-
type of character, but this one has actually got a personality.
You also get sexual psycho in Shimonita as
Yeah.
well. You get the stereotypical one. Yuno is different.
Yeah, it is.
And that's why I like it.
She's
Definitely.
a smart psycho.
And you're constantly going.
No, it's the flip. It's this is a normal person, and oh, it's not a normal person. Oh, it's a normal. Whereas
Yes,
the other one,
this is it.
they're very static. I'm mental.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, is she good? Is she not?
Yeah. Which
What-
one's the
what-
real
What's
her?
her story? Like, what the fuck is going on?
There's a lot of questions around her.
Massively.
Yeah.
The
Well-
whole thing centers around her. It's not Yuki.
No.
It's not about him. It's
But
about Yuno.
The show makes a mistake of making it about him, and it shouldn't be. It should be her.
Do you think I like the fact that they're not focal in putting her in
Or-
focus?
You know, make her obviously the main character.
I think she
later
is.
on.
I
She
feel
is.
like they do that.
They
I
will
feel
do
because
that.
I'm
Not get
more
that from
interested
this
in looking
12.
at her. Which
But you
makes
being
her
more interested is not the screen time that. I mean, it follows his story. We start
I
with
think-
him and we end with him.
Yeah,
so
but if
far.
you get too much screen time of her, you're gonna get too many answers too soon.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Like, if you try to follow her, you'll get
then
answers
she's
that...
not the main character then.
No, she's not. But she almost is.
But she
If
should
that makes
be,
sense. Yeah. Oh, definitely. She should be definitely.
and that's
I mean,
a mistake they made.
I'm watching
I don't
this
like
film.
Yuki. He's
Stereotype.
a stereo. Yeah, he's
He's
a
an
stereotypical
absolute stereotype.
character.
He is Kirito. He's fucking every male protagonist from every modern fucking anime.
He's the guy in
we've
King's
watched.
Game.
Yeah.
I'm not putting this in the same film as King's Game.
He's the guy in King's Game.
No,
the
but
good
he is-
guy.
he
I
is
don't
the
want to
good
kill
guy in
people,
King's
but I want to
Game.
win the game. But I don't
Yeah.
want to have to kill people to win it.
But I don't want to die.
But I don't want. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. A normal reaction. But this guy is all good. Any other person in this fucking situation would act more like
Does
Uno
is rubbing off on Yuki in terms of being an influence to him,
Reword that?
and he, you can see that his character starts to buy into Yuno and what she.
Stockholm
Stockholm.
syndrome.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what he's got. He's got
Yeah.
Stockholm.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like the only things that are keeping me in it is, of course,
Yep.
But also, I want to see how the game ends.
Yeah, you
I'm
are
like
still
that at the
interested in
moment.
this
I'm
whole
like-
Yeah.
the winner gets to become God thing.
But the last maybe 3 episodes, maybe a bit more, bar 1 or 2 times, you forget there's a game.
Yeah, I hated the dog bit.
I think
the
it's a game
the
within a
entire
game.
dog episode.
2
was
episodes of the dog bit. Yeah.
unnecessary.
Trying to introduce characters like
Hated
Hinata
every
and Mao, and then making them almost seemingly crucial friends.
And then they
of
disappear
Yuki
for a
when
couple of
He's
episodes.
only known them for literal hours.
Yep.
They also make him disappear, like in the next 2 episodes.
Yeah,
Yes, they
and-
do, yeah.
and that's why they're pointless.
Yeah,
They
what
come and
you're
they
like?
go.
What happened to Hinata and Mao?
We didn't
Anybody?
Need, we didn't need the Sherlock Holmes episode with
And
a
also-
fucking Hound of the Baskervilles.
No,
Also,
we didn't. You're right.
Your
Yeah.
world's greatest detective would have been quite in.
He would have been a cool
important,
character.
yeah.
The guy playing a game that has nothing to do with the game. That's something I want
but
in this
knows what's
fucking show.
but knows what's
Yeah.
going on. Yeah.
And he's playing, but he has no right to play. But so far, with the 12 episodes, it is the you either die a hero or live long
Look,
to be a
the only
villain.
diary user we've hated so far has been
The dog one.
the dog breeder guy, right?
Yeah.
The kid was weird,
Psycho.
but
Weird,
it
but
was
good.
weirdly interesting to watch. This
And
whole
no.
fucking no.
I enjoyed it.
No.
The cat and mouse episode.
I enjoyed the cat and mouse
I kind
episode.
of thought
It
that
felt
was
like Tom and
weird.
Jerry.
Yes, Home Alone. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I enjoyed it. I like that episode.
I thought it was all right, although convoluted again that a kid is that intelligent. And
That's what bugged me.
yeah.
Is why would God pick this
He was
person
like a
to
mature
play?
serial killer.
Yeah. He was Stewie Griffin.
Yeah.
I wish
Why-
we'd
why?
got a. I wish Kurasu's had been later.
His
I
death.
wish we'd have had that.
Yeah,
later.
maybe his betrayal should have come near the end.
Yeah.
I think that would have worked better.
Yeah.
Help them get through a few. You know,
I mean, like
diaries.
even if right, he's got this problem and he's only got 3 months to sort it. Right,
That's still 3
that's
months.
still 3 months, and
That would
why
be
wouldn't you
fine.
help?
that would be fine.
If you wanted him to be really like a good guy, when he finds out he's got 3 months to live, he's going.
Well,
right,
no, this kid,
I'm going to
yeah.
help Yuki, and we're going to try and get through this in 3 months. And then as the time gets closer and closer, the realization is that shit, we're not
Fuck
getting
that.
close enough to win the game.
Get rid
so-
of the kid, get rid of the wife. He's dying.
Yeah, that'd be more interesting.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
then it's not I have to do this. It's I'm choosing to do this. That's a much sinister
Yeah.
character.
Yes,
That
yeah.
is a
But
much
then
darker
he's not-
turn
he's
of
not
him
sinister.
helping them. No, but that would be a better plot. Do you not think like
Yeah.
falling in love with that character
Yeah.
for 20 episodes
And
then
him
at the end
being
he'd
a
be like,
good guy.
No, I've got to win because I'm fucking dying and fuck you.
Yep.
That
Yeah.
would be very interesting.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the-
That would have
Yeah.
been better than my son's dying and I have to win.
They had a good character with the serial killer that they took out in episode 1.
Yeah.
They could have had him in the background.
Teacher.
Nobody knows who he is. Nobody's ever seen him. There's no information on him. But
All you do as well is you
the
put him in
odd diary
background.
users died, and everyone's like, somebody is killing the diary users. We know about Yuki and the people
Yeah.
he's killing. Somebody else is going around
and he's
killing
that
them.
Always
close
have him
as
talking
well
in-
to.
Always have him talking in the classroom or something
Yeah.
about it, and he's just there on the chalkboard. But
And a
you
nice guy.
Never interact with him. He's just kind of like a normal background character,
Yes.
but he's always there. And then at the end, you're like, "Fuck! It was the teacher all along."
Yep.
That's
And
a
then you
fucking
bring him in. You
Scooby-Doo
bring him in a
twist.
few episodes from the end, and you're
Yeah.
like, and then
Then he
fuck,
plays properly,
The realization is that this guy has been a killer.
playing
all
the
along.
game
Yeah.
fucking right.
And
That
if you
would be
wanted to
cool.
kill
That'd
Mina
be
Nay
really
quickly, after the bombing at the school, you cut to a scene where she's in a
serial
corner
killer
of an
kills her.
alleyway and she's been killed.
By the serial killer.
And there's a serial killer standing over and he walks off and you're like, Mina Nay's just been taken out by somebody. And you're like, who the fuck was that?
I mean, you could even have the person have like one of those voice changer things and be like, didn't escape that one. Or
Yeah.
something like that, and that's it.
Just like looks down and goes, escape diary, huh? And walks off.
Yeah. And that's it.
Like, that would have been brilliant.
Oh,
He's a character that would have been brilliant.
Yeah,
They
give
just-
him
they
a
just-
cool soundtrack like
They
the
just
Jason one.
Fucked him over right at the end.
Make him genuinely scary.
Yeah.
the
Been a fucking
superhero
cool
one.
character.
I mean, he could have just been exactly what
The
he was.
vigilante could have been the exact opposite of the serial killer guy,
Yeah.
and there could have been a fucking rivalry there.
You could have
Yeah.
gone to his house and seen it on the background, not interact with it, but him working it the fuck out who it is.
Yeah. He's
Have-
not
have a
interested in winning the game. He wants to try and
Yeah.
find this serial killer.
Have a
user.
picture of the school and fucking some other people and stuff.
Yeah.
Some red tape in places and kind of
There's
put,
a picture of the teacher, but it's under another photo. sort
yeah,
of thing.
put it in the background. It'd be fucking cool as
Yeah.
shit.
So, on that note, it's time for us to chuff off. All you summoners can join us next time, where we're going to change the pace and we're going to do the movie Weathering with You.
I'm interested for this one.
If you've got any questions or queries or just want to see what we're up to, join us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at How Not to Summon, or join our Discord at How Not to Summon a Podcast. I've been Sheeny Senpai.
Oh, Jim.
Oh, Grayson.
See you later.
See ya.
Ta-ra.